The RC hobby has come a long way since its beginning back in 1966, when an Italian company produced the first remote-controlled car. And by the 80s, there was lots of off-road remote or radio-controlled cars. Now the hobby has gone to new extremes, and you can find any type of RC vehicle from helicopters to semi-trucks. Some guys even build their giant models by hand from scratch using parts available to them from hobby suppliers. And you won't believe what they've built. Join us as we take a look at the 10 most insane RC models. Turbine-powered RC helicopter. There are a lot of RC helicopters out there, but there are not many that are actually powered by an actual turbine. Most RC helicopters are either battery-powered, gas, or run nitro. The sound and the smell of the exhaust coming from the mini turbine is very close to the real thing. And seeing the heat waves blowing out of the exhaust nozzles is pretty special. With those three ingredients stimulating your senses, it really hits home that this is as close to the real deal as most RCers will get. This RC helicopter is very cool and somewhat reminiscent of the famous Airwolf helicopter that was seen in the popular TV series. RC model tanks. When you first see these RC model tanks, you won't believe how realistic they are. Right down to the flashing lights, the driver models, and the realistic sounds that are produced from custom sound cards, including the squeaking sound from the tracks. It's really cool to see that these RC model tanks have realistic tracks and hydraulic systems like the AVLB, or Armored Vehicle Launched Bridge. There's a ton of these military vehicles in almost any type of tank you can think of, including the tank transporters, armored personnel carriers, Lars-2 multiple launch rocket system, and military jeeps. F-16 Cobra Giant RC Scale Model. The F-16 is one of the most popular aircraft in modern military service. This is a 1 to 5.5 scale model, and so far this is the best skin ever on an F-16. The RC F-16 weighs in at about 18 kilograms and is powered by an IQ hammer turbine, which puts out about 30 pounds of boost or thrust. That's a power-to-weight ratio of 1.4 to 1, which is 50% more power than the real thing. The RC model itself is called Cobra, but the F-16 is modeled after the original jet YF-16, in which test pilots called it Viper, as it didn't have a name at this time. The model flies really well and has all the sound of the real thing at 1/5 the full size. RC Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. Some people take their hobbies to a completely other level, especially if the hobby includes building things or, in this specific case, an RC giant SR-71 Blackbird turbine jet. The plane even has an afterburner effect thanks to the LED lights that are programmed with the throttle. It is the first RC giant Blackbird designed, constructed, and built by Roger Noble, and after the success of the first one, he made another 3 perfect replicas. This is not a model you can buy, but is completely hand-built and designed by Roger. RC Model Trucks Collection. RC modelers have taken the hobby of remote-controlled trucks to an entirely new level, with remote-controlled big rigs, and with everything that is available for the RC enthusiast, anything is possible. You've got LED lights that can be placed anywhere a builder wants and programmed to do anything. Onboard sound cards provide the authentic sound, and each model is highly detailed and painted to match the actual semi-trucks that you see on the road. The trucks you see here are in a competition show, so every RC builder will usually go out of their way to make their truck the fanciest with the best paint and LED light setup. Each one of these rigs can run from $1,600 for truck and trailer bare without paint or extra accessories, and can run thousands of dollars more with custom paint and accessories. RC Excavator. You've got RC cars, trucks, helicopters, planes, and semi-trucks to name a few. So why not some RC excavators? These RC excavators are exactly like the real thing down to every movement of the swing arm and bucket. and the RC models have real hydraulic systems. You can get most of these models ready to paint and decal, but some of them can run to upwards of $5,000 for each model, depending on the scale and the features. However, most of these look exactly like the real thing. A nice addition to an RC semi-truck with a flatbed trailer to haul it with. It probably takes some time to learn how to use the controls, and likely just like the real thing. But it looks like a lot of fun, and some of these hobbyists are very skilled. Toyota Hilux. Okay, so you can't do this in a real Toyota truck, and while you're watching this, you probably think that there's no way that truck is going to come out of the water. But this RC truck model has some good power and some really nice soft tires that allow it to go just about anywhere. The creators of the truck believe that RC models should be able to be driven anywhere, and what better way to prove it than to drive under an ice sheet? This Axial SCX10 Toyota Hilux looks like it can go just about anywhere, and even though it gets stuck a couple of times, it gets out of a couple situations you think it won't. This 4x4 electric truck with Tamiya Toyota Hilux hard body has been completely waterproofed. Giant Mill Mi-24. This helicopter NATO nicknamed the Hind is a large 5-blade combat helicopter and troop transport, with transport to 8 fully equipped troops including pilots. The helicopter has been used since 1976 by the Soviet Air Force, its successors, and over 30 other nations. This particular model is an RC replica that has Polish characteristics and has been built after a Polish Air Force full-size Mill Mi-24 Hind attack helicopter gunship number 459 from the 49 from the Polish Army display group called Skorpioni or Scorpions. It is a 1:67 scale RC helicopter that is powered by a PAL GPH-70 jet turbine that spins at 94,000 RPM. Its power output is 4.6 kilowatt or 6.3 horsepower. The rotor diameter is 2.5 meters and spins at 850 RPM. This is one cool helicopter model. Airbus A400M gigantic RC scale airliner model. The Airbus A400M Atlas is a multinational 4-engine turboprop military transport aircraft. It was designed by Airbus Military as a tactical airlifter with strategic capabilities to replace older transport aircraft, such as the Transall C-160 and the Lockheed C-130 Hercules. This RC model has a 3.78-meter wingspan and is 3.78 meters long. It is powered by an RC turbine which is very powerful and spins at 94,000 RPM and has 7 horsepower, or an output of 5 kilowatts. As you can see, it has plenty of power and it flies very nice. RC Model Bridge Layer Tank M48 Patton AVLB. This is modeled after the famous armored vehicle launched bridge, the M48 Patton. It is a combat support vehicle sometimes regarded as a subtype of military engineering vehicle, designed to assist militaries in rapidly deploying tanks and other armored fighting vehicles across gap-type obstacles such as rivers. This model has it all, right down to the realistic diesel engine sound coming from the onboard sound card, which is throttle controlled. You can hear that very aggressive and realistic engine sound. An RC hydraulic-controlled system realistically shows how the AVLB laid down the bridge so that vehicles could cross. It also shows how this particular tank picked up the bridge.